Sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same if this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. So today we'll be talking something very, very important, and it's about a debate. I don't know, I think they did this debate late last year, and it again resurfaced. And people are still tagging and giving their opinion about it and calling, in fact, actually, they ripped Ron DeSantis like apart. And it's about this video where he said that he does not want to teach children hate. Why is he banning everything black, just like ban everything? And he said he doesn't want to teach the children, he doesn't want to teach children hate. He doesn't want them to know that being white means you are the oppressor and being black means that you are oppressed. And he also went further to say that he doesn't like the where people say that America was built on stolen land, that it's a lie, that it was not built on stolen land and the rest of it. I mean, he made so many points, and he did this debate with Crist, and Crist really ripped him apart. Not just only that, the people that staged the video also ripped Ron DeSantis apart. And the truth is that, how did people see that this man was of no good? Because, like, you know, that debate was even a clear example that Ron DeSantis got nothing good to offer them. And right now, everything is playing out. They all can see it is right in their face. They are running helter-skelter, looking for someone that will help them speak up, looking for someone that will help them fight, looking for someone that will, like, when you're all blind, when you all went to vote. And I am sure that maybe in the next coming election, you all are still going to vote blue, because that is what you all want. You know what? Stay close to the screen, and I am going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And straight up, I am rolling the
require teaching all of American history, including slavery, civil rights, segregation. It's important that that's taught. But what I think is not good is to scapegoat students based on skin color. It's not good to distort American history. I'm proud of our history. I don't want to teach kids to hate our country. I don't want to teach kids to hate each other. And the way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race. We ought to teach facts in our schools. We ought to teach the truth in our schools. There's an old expression, Ron. Those who don't know history may be condemned to repeat it. Usually people use that in reference to the Holocaust. It could just as easily be referenced to slavery in our country. It happened. It's a fact. We shouldn't have a whitewash approach to educating our children. That's not right. How are they going to do well in life if they don't even know our own history? And we're not going to teach people to hate each other in our schools. I don't know where you get that idea. I don't have hate in my heart. And I don't think we need to be doing that in our schools. I think it's incredible that we hear this out of Ron DeSantis. He's talking about our economy. He's talking about property insurance. And everybody watching tonight knows that your property insurance is up under him. That's the problem. He could have addressed it in a regular session. He didn't. He could have addressed it in his first special session. He didn't. He's now calling a third special session. I don't think the third time's going to be the charm, because his focus is not on Florida. It's not on you. You deserve a governor who has your back. I always did, and I always will. And Ron, you talk about Joe Biden a lot. I understand. You think you're going to be running against him. I can see how you might get confused, but you're running for governor. You're running for governor, and I have a question for you. You're running for governor. Why don't you look in the eyes of the people of the state of Florida and say to them, if you're reelected, you will serve a full 4-year term as governor? Yes or no? Yes or no, Ron? Will you serve a full 4-year term if you're reelected governor of Florida? It's not a tough question. It's a fair question. He won't tell you.
We did not agree on the candidates asking each other questions.
What was that? Did he malfunction? Was he stomped? Child, Florida, vote blue. Period.
So Ron DeSantis and Charlie Crist were debating recently, and they were talking about critical race theory. And as you can probably imagine, Ron DeSantis was making an ass out of himself, while Charlie Crist was very eloquent in what he said. And I want to show you guys some clips.
So it actually, if you look around the country, they do have programs, unfortunately, well, they will take a student, look at their race, say, okay, you're white, you're an oppressor. If you're black, you're oppressed. And think about what that does to a 6 or 7-year-old kid. That's wrong. You're seeing that. You have people that are teaching, and actually his running mate has said this in the past, that teaching the United States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
What school did Ron DeSantis go to? This dude really said that America wasn't built on stolen land? What? Is that what we're doing now? We're just lying. We're just outright lying. Shout out to the crowd, though, on booing him basically every time he opened his mouth, because that was just a bunch of nonsense. Christopher Columbus literally dropped anchor here and took the land from Native Americans, and then they also almost wiped them out. But I guess it's inappropriate to, you know, teach history. Who would actually want to learn facts? When it was Charlie Crist's turn, however, to talk about critical race theory and everything, he had a very, very well put together response that I want to show you guys.
He talks about not teaching about the history of our country that might offend some people in our schools. We ought to teach facts in our schools. We ought to teach the truth in our schools. There's an old expression, Ron. Those who don't know history may be condemned to repeat it. Usually people use that in reference to the Holocaust. It could just as easily be referenced to slavery in our country. It happened. It's a fact. We shouldn't have a whitewash approach to educating our children. That's not right. How are they going to do well in life if they don't even know our own history? And we're not going to teach people to hate each other in our schools. I don't know where you get that idea. I don't have hate in my heart, and I don't think we need to be doing that in our schools. Why you think that's happening right now is beyond me. We need to get back on track. We need to apply common sense. We need to do what's right.
Facts. Big facts. Also, I appreciate the B pun. Why there are so many Republicans out there that believe that if we teach kids the history of America, they're going to grow up to hate each other is just ridiculous. Having gone to college, I can honestly say I was not taught the full truth, you know, back in elementary school, middle school, high school. I was not taught the full truth. But I was taught about racism. I was taught about what happened, sort of, to the Native Americans. I didn't grow up to hate anybody. I grew up wondering why the fuck that shit happened, but the goal obviously after that is to just know that you never want to go back to that. But then there's people like Ron DeSantis who want to wash away and distort the real history of America because he's ashamed of it, and this is why at the end of the day, y'all need to vote blue.
States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
Hi, Genocide Scholar here. Yes, it's true. The United States was built on stolen land. The United States was built on a legacy of genocide. The United States was built by slaves. That is true. Objectively. And for Ron DeSantis and other Republicans out there trying to whitewash history, trying to make a fake history of the United States because they think it's inappropriate for us to teach our children the truth is insane to me. It's inappropriate to lie to our children and to make up fuzzy stories about the United States and our history, because what it does is it changes your development. It changes you developmentally, because when you grow up and you try to learn the truth, you're like, well, that's not what I was told. Yeah, because you were lied to.
People that are teaching, and actually his running mate has said this in the past, that teaching the United States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
Wow. Christian nationalist Governor Ron DeSantis is dead wrong about this statement, but history is not important to Christian nationalism because it relies on mythology and propaganda to largely support its ideology. The fact is that there were people here before settlers arrived, and the U.S. has a long and deadly history of forcing indigenous people out of their land for its own personal gain, literally stealing the land. Books like Unsettling Truths document the horrors they had to suffer at the hands of colonizers who believed that God gave them a divine right to the land and to Christianize its inhabitants by force. We must reject this mythologized history because it is steeped in supremacy and trades the truth for a lie.
States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
But it is true, Ron. Go back and watch the video that I stitched. That creator is really awesome. But I just would like to point out the fact that these same people throwing a fit about the possibility of children being taught about racism in schools are the exact same ones who flipped their shit when people were tearing down Civil War statues because you shouldn't and can't erase history. So you don't want remnants of the Civil War being torn down or anything about the Civil War being torn down, but you don't want to teach children what the Civil War was about. Is that right? And you don't want to erase history because then you might repeat it, but you don't want to teach history so that we don't repeat it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. There is literally nothing to support the notion that teaching people about racism makes people hateful. In my opinion, it does the opposite. The hypocrisy from people like Ron DeSantis literally never ends. It's gross.
That teaching the United States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
The very people who have made their purpose in life to go around telling other people that we are all guilty of our sins from the day that we are born due to what our first ancestors did at the very beginning of human history and thereby indebted to their God and in need of redemption are the same people who also proclaim that the egregious sins of their European ancestors is something that somehow we all need to pretend to have never happened for the sake of their children. Because to do so will force them to admit their guilt and thus to also admit to still be indebted with a penalty that none of them are willing to ever pay like their Jesus once did for them. These people are acting like their historical oppression is somehow just a thing of the past. Have any of these fools ever visited a Native American reservation or a city like Flint, Michigan lately? There truly are the dictionary definition of hypocrisy. Stay woke, people. That.
You know, I think it's incredible that we hear this out of Ron DeSantis. He's talking about our economy. He's talking about property insurance. And everybody watching tonight knows that your property insurance is up under him. That's the problem. He could have addressed it in the regular session. He didn't. He could have addressed it in his first special session. He didn't. He's now calling a third special session. I don't think the third time's going to be the charm because his focus is not on Florida. It's not on you. You deserve a governor who has your back. I always did, and I always will. This is the DeSantis administration. And under the DeSantis administration, the middle class is getting crunched in Florida. You can't get an apartment. You can't afford a house. You can't pay your property insurance because he's taken his eye off the ball over and over and over.
Thank you, Congressman.
And you need to be focused on what's happening in our schools. Our schools are doing a decent job, and they're not teaching hate. They're teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. They're doing it with good teachers, but you don't respect them, and that's why they're fleeing our schools. We need a governor who cares about education,
We're going to move on
real
to our next
education.
question.
Crime is up under Governor DeSantis. Crime was down when I was your governor because we enforced the laws and made sure Floridians were safe. That's the kind of leadership that we have to have. It's common sense leadership. Florida, I love her with all my heart. I want to unite her. I want to bring this state back together and not have a divider as a governor. I want women to have the right to choose and make their own decisions about your body, especially in cases of rape or incest. I want to make Florida more affordable again. When I was governor, I lowered your property insurance. When I was governor, I lowered your property taxes. When I was governor, I made sure that we had an affordable economy, even in a recession. He's raised all these things. He's also raised your taxes. He won't even tell you if he'll serve 4 years if you reelect him. I mean, come on. You deserve better than that. Florida deserves better than that. Thank you very much.
All right, so this is all we got from the stitches. And before I go, I am going to ask how the truth is that they saw this coming. The people that voted this man knew that he is evil. I am not going to mince words because it's glaring. It's obvious. I mean, how do you watch someone like this? You all can see the debates and all that. And you saw him speaking. And still, you all did not even think that this person is not good for us because he is no good. And they still went ahead to vote blue. And right now, they are seeing the repercussions of what they did. And they are blaming, looking for whom to blame, and calling people to support them fight the person they put in power. I mean, how is that even supposed to work? Okay, how do you work? Okay, like, for example, you work in an electricity company and you want to go collect salary from Pe0ple or McDonald's. How is that even supposed to work? I mean, you all go take what you all worked for, because he is giving it to you all right now back to back. You see the fact that he kept lying. I mean, he's been lying that America was not built on stolen land. And was it my people that told him no, it was a stolen land? It was his own people. I mean, them that also came out to tell him, you are lying. So you can imagine all the lies he's been telling and still telling. And some people still found him qualified to rule them. Man, you all enjoy what you guys labored for, because that is all I can say. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. Thank you all so much for all the support. I am grateful, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.